This election season has brought plenty of twists and turns leading up to where we're sitting right now. Joining me right now at 4:30 is Carleton College political scientist Shier. He joins us with expert analysis. You've been with us all yesterday, this morning. Thanks for being back with us.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about the Trump effect. It did have a great effect on lots of races in Minnesota. It helped a lot of Republicans. First of all, let's talk about that. Second part of the question, why do you think it didn't help Mills more?
Okay, first, when we first got the exit polls from Minnesota, it showed a dead heat between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I knew something was up. And the exit polls also showed that Trump was winning by a large margin in greater Minnesota, outside of Minneapolis and St. Paul. That proved to be the case. And as a result, Republicans did particularly well at the state legislative level, and some really underfunded and obscure GOP congressional challengers in the 7th and the 1st almost knocked off Democratic incumbents.
I really thought this would play a role in the 8th congressional district.
Yeah, I did too. The 8th is a surprise because Mills in our previous poll for KSTP was ahead. But if you look at St. Louis County and Duluth, Hillary Clinton carried that by 12%, and Rick Nolan did very well as well there. That was enough. 2,000 votes, just enough.
Yeah, it was very tight. All right, let's look at the fact that Republicans will likely hold both chambers of the Minnesota Legislature. What does that really mean to the common everyday Minnesotan?
Well, one thing many people may not be aware of is that the legislature can put constitutional amendments on the ballot in 2018 without any involvement of the governor. And that may be an agenda item for the new Republican legislature. Beyond that, big policy differences between the executive branch and the legislature. How that works out, we'll have to wait and see.
All right, let's talk about these polls really quick. We have just a little bit of time. What in the world happened?
Listening to Nate Silver today, he makes following point. The polls were 2.5% off, which is in the margin of error. And when you have a tie race, you're going to have a bunch of polls that get it wrong. And that's what we had nationally, a tie race.
No one was calling this.
No. Well, there were a couple polls.
A couple.
And we could talk about
We'll
that.
talk more. All right, thank you so much. All right, and Stephen will be with us all day into the evening for more political analysis and talk about those who were calling for this. Stay with 5 Eyewitness News as we continue to track the major election outcomes here. Our coverage continues on air and online at KSTP.com.